Hi friends, this is Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher, and today is Monday, June 16th. Welcome back. I'm back awfully soon from my last video, but that was just because it took me a long time after getting back from my retreat to get back to recording. But I do have a few whips to share, which I think I put it in here. My start, and some kind of loose plans, like some ideas I gathered for the next month or so, and what I'm going to do for the rest of the month. And everything is very loose, up in the air to change. So I decided to stop making such like structured plans, because I felt like when I would make the plan, then I didn't want to do it, which I've mentioned on the video before. I do like having plans, but then when I have too many, then it just kind of makes me not want to do the plans. So I have some ideas, I'll say. And then I have a little haul and the giveaways. So I don't have any finishes, but I did manage to get some stitching in. So what I started after the last video, which I think I mentioned I was wanting to start this, is I did start Sarah's Sewing Bag by Stacy Nash. And I saw Michelle Rudy, who is the owner of Farm Girl Dry Goods. She has this finished, and she brought it to the retreat. And I've seen it on her Flosstube before, finished. And she does talk about, here's my start. So I did decide to use the fabric that Michelle used, which is 36 count flax. And she talks about how because I bought the kit from her. In the kit is a hand-dyed fabric, which normally I love hand-dyed fabric. She talks about in her video when she shows her finish how, and the colors, they just don't even, the video doesn't do it justice. They're very, very pretty on the linen. But she talks about how she likes to use the Zweigart just plain base, not hand-dyed anything, when she's making these bags or any type of like something you would use, and for the stability of the fabric. Yes, I will also put interfacing on it as well, but I felt hers and I really like how it was feeling, so I thought I would change it. And the fabric, I don't even know what, it might be something she dyed. This is what it came with, which again, there's nothing wrong with it. It is a little looser, so I'll probably put it in my stash and use it for something else because I like the fabric. But I loved how the colors looked on her piece and how it was nice and stable. So one thing that she did do is she made her roof a little bit darker. So I decided to use Havana, which Havana is not in the chart. But she pulled Havana and oilcloth. And for the house, in the chart, it tells you to just use one color, and I forget which color it even is. Oh, oilcloth's already in here. So it tells you for the house, you do the mortar and then you fill in the bricks, or you fill the bricks in first, however you do a house. It's all one color, but because it's variegated, that's how you get the multicolored look. However, on her piece, she used the called for color, and she used Havana and oilcloth and probably chestnut. She just like used all of the and I'm thinking it's the 3 or 4 of these, and maybe even a little bright leaf, which is the other brown. It's like a lighter one. And she might have some from the straw color. So she just used randomly put the bricks in using all of the tans and browns from the chart. And I love, again, her piece. I, of course, let me see if I can look up really quick, because I went to watch her video to see what her changes were. And let me see if I can look up which one it was. Let's see. Of course. All right, I don't see which. I will put a link. Oh, here we go. I was passing right by it. Flosstube number 51 on Farm Girl Dry Goods, which I'll put a link to this below. That is where she shows her bag and she talks about the changes. If you want to see what it actually looks like, she might have a picture of it posted, but I'm not sure. I did take a picture, but I didn't ask her, so I don't want to put it on the video. But you can go to that Flosstube and see her finish. So I would like to, I'm not going to another retreat until the middle end of September. I would like to try to get this done by that time so that I can bring it with me to put some of my things in. The next one I worked on, I was massively on the Patriotic kick, which I'm still liking the Patriotic. However, I'm also having this pull to work on samplers and other everyday things. So I'm kind of like, I have a few Patriotic pieces I left out. The rest I'll talk about where I put them in a few minutes. But then I'm also like really focusing on, and it's because that's what I'm like being drawn to want to stitch, is just some of these everyday samplers, and getting them done is what I really would like. So Mary Bovey by Stacy Nash. This is a sal that Nicole Spohr and Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, are hosting. And it's Mary Bovey Sal, I believe is the hashtag. This is on Murky. Nicole, I think, is stitching it on the dark soil, and so is Holly. Holly's using a color and cotton conversion. Nicole is using the called for. I'm kind of using a mixture. I was doing a color and cotton conversion, and then I started putting some of the colors on here. Then I saw, I forget if it's Sarah or Christy who stitched it on Half Pone Stitchers, or Half Pone Creek Stitchers. It looks amazing. Then I was regretting stitching it on Spindrift. However, I have this is where I've gotten to. I had the entire bones of the border done, and I could not bring myself to do a shade darker of the fabric. So I'm figuring out how to make this work. So this is on 36 count Spindrift. It's a very light fabric. When I first pulled the color and cotton, I loved it. Like, it looked really pretty, and all the colors were great. However, when I started getting some of this in, I felt like the red was going to be like, that's all you were going to see was the red. So I was trying to tone the red down because everything else looked very dainty. Then I saw, it's either Christy or Sarah, I forget which one. And it was so pretty, and they used red, but it wasn't so stark. So I am using what she used. So I changed the border, which is supposed to be Old Hickory, which is like a brown, which I kind of wish I did that, but it's okay. because it looks good. I'm using Tomato Leaves by Color and Cotton. Then I have the flowers are outlined. Oops. I don't know if you can see, the lighting is kind of funny. The flowers are outlined in Gretel, which is a light pink. And then they're supposed to be filled in with the white, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm just kind of going off of their picture from Half Pone Stitchers, she used the red to fill them in. So I'm using baked apple to fill in my flowers. And I like the look because it's adding it's making the border look a little more substantial and less dainty, which I don't dislike the dainty look, but some of the other colors are a little strong. I felt like it was going to look like the piece didn't go together. The house is supposed to be much lighter, but because I have the light fabric, I still wanted to have a light colored house. So I decided to stitch it in Cattail by Weeks Dye Works. So it's giving it the white house look, but I'm able to see it on my fabric. Then I also pulled, I haven't used it yet, there's a berry bowl, 2 berry bowls, and I'm thinking of adding Tennessee red clay into the berry bowls. And the other colors I pulled are the called for. So I did pull Old Hickory, Apple Cider, Carriage Black, and Caramel Corn to stitch some of the other parts. Oops. And so I'm really liking how it's coming out. I wanted to get a little bit of this middle vase done. And really, and I am going to have to do the letters in a different color because in here it's the white color and you're not going to be able to see it. So I'm thinking I'm going to use Old Hickory for the letters, which is like the light brown. And then I'm not going to put Mary Bovey, but I don't know what name I'm going to put. So it's not a very big sampler. I'm trying to put some more work into it to get it to completion because I'd love to have it off of my my whip pile. But if it sits and I feel like working on something else, that's also fine. So that was the other piece I worked on. And then this is just a tiny start. I did end up yesterday deciding to put in a little start on the Summer Schoolhouse series, which when I pulled this out, realized I've started this like 3 or 4 times. The first time I started it on antique white and I was doing a blue conversion. I think I saw someone do one and I pulled blues that I liked and it was on 28 count maybe, so it was going to be huge. Plus that was with 2 strands. I didn't get very far, so I got rid of that one. Then I did start it with the Vicki Clayton silks on 40 count, and then I wasn't really loving. I like Vicki Clayton silks. Sometimes I feel like they're a little slippery for my preference. So I wanted to use the cotton because this is a lot of pieces. So I did gift the silks to a friend who was very happy to take them off my hands. And I pulled the cotton, which I had all of the colors anyways. So I'm doing it called for colors. And I decided I don't want to do 28 count over 1 because I don't feel like my stitches look nice. And I just don't care for how my stitching looks on that. So I decided to pull 40 count and I had some 40 count mushroom. So it's just basic Zweigart mushroom, not over dyed, nothing. And I think it'll be a good solution. So these are the called for the first one. I think that's all of the colors. Have to just double check. And I just did a teeny tiny start yesterday in the top middle. And this is going to stay in my basket for as long as it takes to get these done, because I have wanted to do these for a very long time, and I always feel like I get stalled out on this one because this is the biggest one, but I keep seeing people finishing them. And then when I was watching Sean, the periwinkle stitcher, she was talking about she wanted to put those in one of the shaker trays, which I thought that was a great idea, because I did go on to Amazon, and let me show you the box that they're supposed to go in, which it would fit if I did it on the 28 count over 1, because they'd be real little. But there's no way they're going to fit in this box. This is the box they're supposed to fit in, and it opens up. I don't know if I can get it open right now. It opens up, and it is not very big. So I can see how if you did them over 1, it would be the right size. This is what you're supposed to use to put them in. There is no chance that they're going to fit in this on 40 count even. So I have the boxes. I'm considered, which I still might have, it came as a pack of 3. My son has already taken one of them to use for who knows what, putting stuff in. So I have 2 of them. I could set them side by side and have kind of the whole pack, like have a couple in this one and a couple in the other one. That is still, I might do, but we'll see. So I did buy the boxes, and I honestly bought them because I just wanted to see, excuse me, what the size was going to be and what it was going to look like, because I knew for sure that even if I did the 40 count, it wasn't going to be fitting. But we'll see how I finish them. All right, this is the last thing I worked on, and this was a start, which was kind of a spur of the moment. I saw Katie from So Tattered. She was going to start this on Saturday, which was Flag Day. And I have had this, and I've wanted to stitch it for a while. I think it was last summer, Sandy, who's Whispered Stitches, she stitched and finished this. It's so pretty. So I told Katie I would start it with her. And then, of course, after I started it, then I kind of got into the, I want to stitch on samplers. So I do have a plan to get back to it. I am using 36 count Pyrite by Cedar River. And this is, I just put a small start right in the middle. And I did change a couple of the colors. I changed, so far I'm only using green, or the only green is Endive by Gentle Arts, and I might add another green. I pulled Lily Pad, but I'm unsure if I want to use that or not. Also for Wood Smoke, I'm using Palomino by Weeks Dye Works. And instead of Deep Sea, I'm using Uniform Blue by Gentle Arts as well. And some of those were suggestions from Katie that she was going to change, and so I thought I'll just change mine too. Her fabric is a 40 counts from Tropical Stitches, and it's really pretty. So I'm sure on her, I think she just did a quilt video, so she should have a Flosstube soon. I think she was trying to get back into recording, so be on the lookout. She also posted a picture on Instagram of her start. All right, so that was everything that I worked on. Now to the talking about the Patriotic, what I did is I did leave in my basket downstairs by my stitchy chair. I left a couple, I think 3 Patriotic pieces that I would like, the kind of sampler pieces that I would like to keep working on for the time being. The other ones I've either started or were whips to begin with that I had pulled out. I put in a bag, and it's on my shelf over here. And I am going to use those for my 13 for the 250th SAL, which I talked about last week. That is the SAL that Nancy, the disorderly stitcher, and Nancy, Stitcher with a Laughing Face, are hosting. They have a printout. I'm not going to print it out because I'm kind of following their plan, kind of not. They have where you will put your 13 projects on the 13 stripes. I just put more than 13. All the ones I was working on, and if there was anything else that I had that I was thinking I wanted to maybe work on patriotic wise, I put it in a bag. Every month, so they have every month you work on one, and that gets you to June, or you started June 4th and you end July 4th. So I'm just, each month I'm going to pull out a patriotic piece to either work on to completion or put some stitches in. If something gets done, great. If not, at least I put some more stitches into it and I'm continuing on the patriotic plan. I do have, this is going to go downstairs. I still had it upstairs, but I'm thinking this is going to be one I want to try to get done soon. This is Liberty House by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I should have finished this at the retreat and I didn't. I am almost, excuse all of the massive wrinkles. I need to fill in the house. This is really bad. Fill in the house and finish the alphabet at the bottom, and this thing will be done. So I think this is going to be the first one I'm going to try to work on and finish to hopefully get to completion. I have this also because to me it's, and this is a whip. I haven't got any further, but it's kind of sampler, kind of patriotic. So I have this in the same bag. I'm going to take both of these downstairs to try and put some stitches into those. So that's kind of what I have going for the patriotic part. I have had a great month of May strictly working on patriotic, and I still am in the mood, but I'm also kind of getting in the mood to do some other things. So I did for Sampler Summer, which Carol Saltbox Stitcher is who talked about this. I don't know if she has an exact start date or she already kind of started. I'm going with, I was still finishing some big patriotic, like focusing on, and now I have said I am definitely into the wanting to do some samplers. So I'm kind of going with the first day of summer. I'll start picking some of these up, which I want to say is it's either the 20th or the 21st. Let's see. Of course I can't type. Friday the 20th. So maybe this week, maybe I'll keep working on that one patriotic the rest of this week, and then Friday I will start picking some of these up. But I did pull out a few whips, and it was good to go through my bins with my samplers because they're like samplers / everyday, because I had a lot of progress on some and I kind of had forgotten about them, or I remembered they were in there, but I had forgotten how much work I had done with them. So this is the first one, Moments of Glad Grace. And I believe I started this last summer. We went on a road trip to Kentucky. I think this was last year. It seems so long ago. And so I started this piece. I did, you'll see, there's like her name and it says Year of the Lord. I used the alphabet from one of the Blackbird charts, and I put the alphabet up here. Here's the colors. Pretty. And I believe this is the called for fabric. But this is where I've gotten to. So I have a lot done. So I want to pick this back up and maybe again get it to completion. We'll see. I do, like I think I've talked about this before. I feel like 3, maybe 4 days is kind of my max, and then I'm ready to switch to something. Sometimes I want to stitch on more things in a shorter amount of period of time than that, but if I get on a roll, that's a good time period. I also pulled this one out, which is Humming of the Bees. And colors, very similar color palette. And I do not know when I started this. This is on, let me see. Okay, it's supposed to be stitched on Velt. This is not Velt. I want to say this is Heartland by Picture This Plus. And same deal. I have, it's not a lot, but I have oh goodness, the needle. I have a decent start. So both of the borders are very similar in that they kind of look like little strawberries. I love this house. Oops. This big brick house. So this kind of reminds me summer / it could take me into fall. But this is another fun one. And I want to say I've seen a few people stitching this. Maybe there's a stitch along happening. I don't know. So that's another one. Then another sampler I pulled out was Mary Ann Kopp, and I started this last year. I'm pretty sure I started this for, I think I started this for Rika's birthday last year, which is the 20th. It's on Friday. Rika House of Stitch and Stash. So I'm pretty sure I started this for her birthday. So that's a year ago. And here's the colors. And I'm stitching it on Not Another Sampler 36 count. And this is as far as I got. So I love the colors. I love the fabric. I have most all of the mortar done. I think I need a little bit more mortar over here. And then it's just fill in on the bricks. And then obviously the rest of the chart. But as far as the house goes, it's mainly just fill in. So I would really like to get this out, especially now talking about that it's been a year since I worked on this. And this sampler summer idea, whether it was Carol or I don't know if it was someone else who came up with it, this is like a really great idea. Okay, this one and the next one I haven't started yet. So I might just work on those, or I might start these. My friend gave me a piece of 40 count antique lace, which is what is called for. All of my antique lace is really dark, and she had a light color, and so I want to stitch this on that. Brenda had the model of this at the retreat, and it's so pretty. And then, of course, I'm watching Sean, the periwinkle stitcher, the other day, and this was part of her whip go, so then it made me want to pull it out. So I had to get a couple other threads for this, and I'll start this most likely. And I want to say Roberta from the Sable Stitchers, I think she finished this. I don't remember, but I love it, and I love all Brenda's pictures. And then really, really, really want to start this. I was talking with my friend Katrina when we were at the retreat, and I've seen her finish of this and many others. And she was talking about what she stitched it on and whatever. And so I pulled this out. I really, really would like to do this. And she stitched it on 36 count espresso by R&R. So I got a little bit more of that. Sorry, I'm having things come up. Okay. Also, it's already downstairs. I haven't started this plan yet. This plan I really want to start and stick to, which I'm so bad at doing that. I want to get my floral motif sampler done. So my thought is starting, and maybe I'll start today. Maybe I'll start on the 20th, first day of summer and summer sampler. My thought is I want to stitch one motif a day. And if I can, a lot of the days this summer, unless we're going somewhere, is I have time in the morning I can stitch, and then I can stitch at night. So my thought is try to spend the time I have in the morning stitching the motif. If I stitch one motif a day, I can get that thing knocked out. I want to have that done so bad, but all of the other projects call my name. And that one, I want it done, but it doesn't call my name. I don't know why, but that is a goal that I would really, if I could accomplish that, I would be very happy. So I'm going to try to pull that out and stitch one motif a day. Next Monday, we'll see if I did it, because I will be back next Monday. So that's kind of my sampler plans. Then another loose plan I have is my friend Tara from Sully Stitches. She is starting, which is also starting this weekend, a spooky summer sal, #spooky summer. When she started talking about it, it started making me want to get some Patriotic, some Halloween stuff out. So I did pull this bag out, which I stitched last year, and I put a couple projects in here. I also ordered some Home Sweet Haunted Home fabric. I want to say it's by Stacy Itsu, to make some project bags for these. But in the meantime, I have this. And I might, if I make project bags, I'll still stick it in here because it's a few things that I maybe want to work on. And then I'll keep them all in here. So her sal is pick a Halloween or fall piece or pieces. I have a couple pieces to start on the 20th, the 22nd, sometime over this weekend. And I think it's more of a start along. There's no like end date. So just start working on something. So the things I pulled out were all things that were kitted. This I bought, I guess 2 years ago, kitted. This is When Witches Go Riding. Never stitched them. It looks like a mess now, but it's fully kitted from Michelle at Farm Girl Dry Goods. So I'd maybe want to do this. These are all new starts, so if I start all of them, great. If I start one of them, that's also great. This is one that Tara had pulled out. I bought this as a kit last year at Little Red Hen. I have the tiniest start on the witch. I'm not a fan of the fabric. So I pulled out this 36 count Lollybrock and the called for colors. So I think I'm going to do it on that. So this is another potential. Also, I was going through and kind of unkitting some things, and I have this book, which at one time the Floss Boss and Cousins did a sal to do all of this part. I fell off the wagon. I'm not doing that. So what I did do though is I pulled this book out to maybe stitch this or this. which is there are also patterns in there. But I thought that would be fun to have for Halloween. Maybe use this and make a needle book or some type of stitching, and this could be a pin cushion. I'm really into stitching things and using it for like my stitching setup. I don't know why. Then this has been on my list since it came out. Salem sampler. This for sure I'm going to start. And I bought it from Rachel, which came with the Gallows. I had to pay, but it came with the fabric Gallows Hill. I am not a huge fan of this part at the top, which she talks about in here. Oh, where did she? I wrote, it's a winged skull called the Death Head. And many 17th and 18th century headstones had or depicted a soul whose journey was not over yet. It represented one's passing on to heaven. I'm not really into that part. So I am trying to figure out the whole rest of it. I love. So I'm not letting that stop me from stitching it. However, I'm trying to figure out what I want to put there. So I have a few ideas. And my thought right now is go ahead and start like on one of these flowers and get maybe this black part in and stitch the other flower and then decide what I want to put in the middle. I might even leave that till the very end. But I love this stamp. I love the colors of it. And she also talks about, I forget where I read this. It's definitely like a Halloween-y kind of piece. It has no orange in it, which I thought was really interesting. So this is like for sure I'm starting. More than likely I will start this, and then I will probably either start this or this, and we'll see. And again, even though I'm going to make the project bags, I probably will keep them in here just so that I have like, these are the Halloween pieces. Because I was going through my, basket with Halloween/fall, and I pretty much only have fall things. I don't really have any Halloween whips. So I thought this would be a good way to start a couple Halloween things, and then I'm for sure going to get back to the fall pieces. So those kind of are mixed in. Then the last thing, and I know this is a lot of showing potential starts, but some of them I have a little progress on, is for Christmas in July, or with Fat Quarter Shop, they call it Jolly July. I am going to stitch, I pulled out 4 pieces, and whether I do one a week or I stitch like mainly a little bit on each, I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly. But the first one is, and like I mentioned last week, I think this is a stitch along, but I haven't seen a post about it, so I don't want to say it is, but I'm going to work on it, is the Quilted Snowman. And I think I am going to leave off the Christmas trees and stitch the snowman in the wagon and like some of the quilt blocks. We'll see. That was what my thought was yesterday, because that snowman is massive, which is fine. It's really cute. But I don't know. I think I might just stitch the snowman and those some of the quilted blocks. But I did go in my bag, and I do need to go and get one more of the DMC. I did convert the DMC to overdyes, and some of them I did tone down a little bit. I had all the DMC, I laid it all out, and then I put the overdyes over top of the DMC. And then I'm stitching it on 40 count affogato. So it will be considerably smaller. And this is the colors on fabric. The snowman, I am leaving the colors that it calls for just because it's 2 colors. And I don't want it to, oh, it's kind of hard to see. I can post, if you're interested in what I changed it to, I'll put it in the description below because I did write it down. So this is the first one. And I have to show my adorable bag. This was gifted to me by Nicole Spore. She made this for me 2 years ago, I think, but I had to put it in this bag. So that's one of my plans. My next plan is I bought this when I was at the Amana retreat, the Christmas bird, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this fabric. I think it's going to be dark enough. This is 40 count Kenneth by Grace Notes. Oh, I only have 2 of the colors, so I need to pull the rest of the colors. I think this is going to be dark enough. This is stitched on chestnut, which is a brown, and I didn't really care for the color, so I wanted to change it. If this is not dark enough, I have Winter Wren by Fox and Rabbit, and I also have some more of that dark soil, so I could always use that. So we'll see, but this is one I would like to do, and is not very big. Finish size 6 1/8 by 2 3/4. So that would be a quick-ish one to do. So I need to finish kitting that up. And then this one I have kitted. This will probably be released this year. This was in Kitten Stitcher's Advent box last year. Merry Christmas Pin Keep, and I never started it, but I think it's so cute. So I pulled this out. I had kitted it all up, ready to do, and then I never started it. So I'd like to work on that. And then, oh, maybe I have 2. Okay, I lied. I have 4 projects and then the snowman. These are both whips. So this, again, this should come out this year as well. This was from the Kitten Stitcher Advent box. And when I pulled this out, I was like, why did I stop this? This is on 40 count. What is this called? 40 count Milk Coffee by XJew. I love this fabric, and I have more. Actually, that bird might look pretty on this fabric. That Brenda Gervais one. This is where I am. And I want to say I changed the colors a teeny tiny bit. But this could definitely be finished. So I want to get back to this. This might be pretty for that Brenda one I just showed instead of the Kenneth. So we'll see. And both of these are in this folio that I got. I think this was the last one I got from Rika House of Stitch and Stash from her club. And I didn't get to use it because when I got it, it was not Christmas. So I thought this will be the perfect time to pull it out. And I have both of these projects in here. And then this is the other one. And this one, again, forgot how much I did last year. This Joyous Season. Have a lot of Christmas whips. So I thought this would be a good, like, I could have a couple starts, or I could work on the whips. And this is 36 count Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax. And I have a lot done on this. So the other one I was choosing between was Winter Moon, which I'd like to get that out and work on later in the year. But this one I feel like is further along. So I thought if I really work in July, and get in the mood, maybe I could have this done as well. So have lofty plans, but if other people are stitching Christmas, it might get me in the mood. And I kind of am ready for a change. So I thought doing the Christmas in July, doing a little bit of the spooky stuff mixed in with having some patriotic stuff still out. I know one for sure I left downstairs was my Summer at Hollyberry Farm. And I have some others still. If I feel like it, I can pull them out. If I want to work on the Christmas or Halloween, it gives me some other things to work on just to switch it up. And so but I don't have like specific on this day I'm stitching this or no real specific plans, but some options. And it was fun to go through my things. I found the Gather In, which I'm really far on that. So this fall, I'd love to get that done. But that was in stitching. So last year I stitched Brenda Gervais my focus was Brenda for the year. This year my focus was Stacy and Paulette. Stacy Nash and Plum Street Samplers, both of them, most of my whips are really big, dense pieces. And so to have a lot of finishes, I knew that wasn't going to be happening. However, getting some decent progress on them, that is all I can ask for. So that's my loose plans. This week, my 2 older kids are at camp all day long. So me and my youngest daughter are going to go meet my husband at his new office to see that and go to lunch today. But then the rest of the week, we don't really have plans. And I would like to try to organize my fabric, make a couple project bags. I have a few, at least 1, if not 2 finishes. I'm going to try to get to the frame shop. So just kind of doing things here and there. Next week, the older kids are at camp, but it's only till noon. So I don't have as much time. But I can still get some stuff done next week. All right, let me, I don't want to tell you the wrong date. So let me see if I can find this quickly. I want to show the haul that I got, and one of them, sorry, I should have done this before. All right, let me just okay. All right, I'm gonna have to post it below. But one of the pieces of haul that I got was this amazing kit from, this is an exclusive through the Homespun Needleworks group. And I was trying to see when Julie said is the last day to order it. I don't see it now. So I'll have to look and find when the last day is and put that in the notes below. But this came with 30, or I think you can get 36 or 40, or it comes with Ada. Hawthorne by Needle and Flax. You have the option to get NPI or the cotton, and I chose to get the cotton. With it, you also get this cute pin that they have in the pillow and a thread winder. And the model is stitched on 40 count with the cottons. So I decided to go with the cottons. I like NPI, but I also just like the overdyed cottons. I don't know why. Another thing about this, and I'm not 100% on this, I was talking with another friend and she was saying she wasn't sure if she was going to stitch this bottom part, which it says, each dawn brings a new day for us to do whatever we may. Choose to be happy with a grateful, and it has a heart, for we have been given a brand new start. I love the saying, my other thought, depending on the size, which I need to look at the size, I might just stitch it on here. My other idea was to take it off, so stitch from the top down, which it still has the alphabet, flowers, and the house. Take this off, and then stitch it separately and finish it as a pillow. And so have the framed piece, stitch this, and then this as a long pillow. Or I might put it in there. I don't know. So we'll see. But I think it's a really pretty. I love the house so much. Which is like, as soon as I saw this, I didn't need to buy anything, but I could not resist. So I want to start this also as part of the sampler summer. All right, oh, here we go. Last day to order this is June 21st, so Saturday. So if you're interested in it, you join the group, which is Homespun Needlework Cross Stitch Samplers. This is the group. You have to join the group, and then in the group, there is a link to go to buy the kit, and you do have to be a member of the Facebook group to buy the kit. You don't have to interact. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be in the group. So the 21st, last day to order that. I also purchased this. This is from Screen Door Needleworks. I thought this was so pretty. And I bought it the other day, and there was a mistake. However, she has fixed the mistake. So if you ordered it right away when she posted it, she emailed with the correction. And if you're ordering it now, it'll be corrected. It was just like a little of, I think it was the, not the overlap. It was a color symbol was wrong, which no big deal. So I thought this was really pretty. I'm going to put this with my Patriotic stuff for that. I got some fabric from Happy Little Stitch Shop, and this is from the line Stars and Stripes Forever by, it's Riley Blake. I don't know who the designer is, but it was funny. It was featured in, Lori Whitlock. It was featured in the Liberty box. So this is where I bought it from, Happy Little Stitch Shop. And Angela has cross stitch, quilting. She has lots of Lori Holt stuff. But she's so nice. So these are the fabrics I bought to use for project bag or the backs of pillows. I love this one. And I think these are my two favorite. The little hats and then the flags on this lighter blue color. The ones with the white, so this one and then these are stars. This and this, I might, when I cut the piece, if I use it for backing, I might use some of the antiquing spray or dunk it in a little coffee just to tone it down because it's a little bright white. Then I bought a few color and cotton things. This is Spring Tide gradient pack. Really pretty. Holly was showing these, and these colors are really pretty. And I don't think that these are going to be in the regular line. So if you're interested, go get this. It's under the gradient pack section. And then I just got some extra colors, reds, greens. She was talking about some Christmas stitching, and so I thought I'd just add a little bit more. I got Antique Rose, Bracken, Cozy Sweater, Dutch Tulip, Harlequin, Mesa, Candy Apple, Winterland, and Harbor Seal. Just to add to the colors, if I feel like pulling for that. Then I got, from Happy Little Stitch Shop, some more Sanguine because I seem to be using that a lot. And then I bought these from the D-Stash website. This is Sleigh Bells and Pin Keep Ornament. It's a kit. And this was a kit too, on Red Ware Road. They were both from the Cross Stitch D-Stash website. And what else is over here? Let's see. Put this in here. I was able to get some 40 count light exemplar. And this is the next installment in the Club from Crazy Annie's with Annie B's Folk Art. And this is Spanish Hot Chocolate. So I do have I have one of these to give away. Super cute. I think you can still sign up for this club if you're interested. So I have one of those. And then, so that's all my haul. I left this downstairs and I wanted to share it because it's super cute and a really great idea. This was my gift from the retreat from Rika from House of Stitch and Stash. I do not know which Etsy seller she bought this from, but she made the people at our table, she made us all name tags. So it has our name and then it has our YouTube or like her friend Kim, she doesn't have YouTube, so she just put Kim. This you can put your scissors on. She put a little spool on it. Or you can just have it on there. It does have a clip. I like to try to see if I can put a magnet so that it would stay, because the clip makes it fall down a little bit, but it is so cute. So thank you, Rika, and I completely forgot about it because it was in another bag downstairs, but I wanted to make sure to show it. So if I can find the Etsy shop, I'll put it below. But it was a really great idea. And this is acrylic. And you can make it say whatever you want. I think it's supposed to be like a badge holder because it pulls out. But love this so much. So again, thank you so much, Rika. Okay, let's go over the giveaways from last week and then see what I have for this week. Pull out a couple things here. Okay. So from last week, if you are a winner, you need to leave a comment. You need to send me an email at sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com with what you want, your name and address, and I will get it in the mail to you. So the first one was Everyday Things, and the winner is Barbara Reed. Barbara Reed. Number 2, America, Betty Duff. Betty Duff. Number 3, Felicia Watson. Felicia Watson. Number 4 was Chris Scales. And the last one is Vicky Owsley, Owsley. So if any of those are you, send me an email and I will get them mailed out to you. And for this week, all the charts I have are Christmas, as we're coming up on Christmas in July. If that is something you do. So leave me a comment and let me know if you plan to participate in either Tara's Spooky Summer Sal or Christmas in July stitching. And if you have an idea of what you want to stitch on, leave that too, and that'll give some other people some ideas. So you do need to be over 18, like the video, comment on the video, and be a subscriber. And then also live in the U.S. So the first one is, this is from the Proper Stitcher. This is called His Gift. This is number 1. Number 2 is Gingerbread Cottage Ornament. This is number 2. Oops. Number 3 is Peace and Joy. This is number 3. And number 4 is the Spanish Hot Chocolate from the Nutcracker series. So there are 4 giveaway chances for this week. Like I said, let me know if you're participating in either the Spooky Summer or Christmas in July. And if you're not, you can just say that you're stitching other things. And then if you know what you want to do, put that in there. Otherwise, that's all. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope all of the fathers had a great Father's Day. And if you were remembering your father, I hope that you were able to think back on the great times that you had when he was with you here. But I hope you have a great week. I hope lots of stitching and you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.